This graph shows the amount of money, S in dollars, in Madeline's account after W weeks. So let's look at this graph. Here's Madeline's savings account, and on the x-axis it reads number of weeks, and then on the y-axis amount in savings. And our goal is to be able to write an equation that describes that line. Well, to describe that line, we're going to need to know a few things. One, we're going to need to know the slope. And the slope we know is equal to the rise over the run. Another way to look at this is to be able to think about it in terms of a triangle. This also has a rise and a run. And then the hypotenuse is the slope, which is a ratio of the rise over the run. Well, we have this point right there. That point right there is the point 120. And then we also know this point, which is 0, 0. So one way we can determine the rise over the run is to know this distance right here. And that distance we know is 20. How do we know it's 20? It's because we start right here, which is 0, and then go all the way up to here, and that's 20. So the rise is 20. Let's go ahead and figure out the run. The run goes from this point over to here. And that distance right there is 1. So our run is 1, and we can put a 1 right there. So when we consider the slope is 20 divided by 1, which is 20. So if we're going to write an equation, let's look at the variables. So the variable here is S. It reads this. It says, enter an equation that represents the amount of money, S, in dollars in Madeline's account after W weeks. Well, S represents the saving side, so S is the saving sides, and W is the weeks. So the way that we'd write that is this. S is equal to 20 times W. So our equation is S equals 20 times W. This is Yo-Yo Juice Sticks showing you one way to solve this problem. You may have another way. As long as you understand it and it makes sense to yourself and it makes sense to others, then you have a great way to solve a problem.